what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, watch some highlights. Well, we're going to watch some highlights first and then take a little break, talk about the fight, talk about the World Boxing Super Series as a whole, talk about the Cruiserweight tournament in regards to the World Boxing Super Series Season 2.
Nice right hand by Vlasov there. He did a lot of good work, guys, a lot of good stuff. Wasn't able to get in a rhythm to gain control of the rounds of the fight. I barely gave many rounds, but nice combination from Vlasov. Never gave up, even in the 12th round. Great fight. We're going to talk about what it means. Mairis Briedis should be in the ring soon. Vlasov right there. A lot of good work from both guys there in that 12th round. And you get the crowd, you get the reaction from the crowd. A great performance by Krzysztof Glowacki. He did a lot of good work tonight. Enough on my scorecard to be able to win this fight, but you got to look at Maxim Vlasov and the effort that he put in. He really came out and gave it all, and he took a lot of big shots tonight in a very entertaining 12-round matchup between two top cruiserweights.
Here, let's talk for a little minute. 6:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, November 11th, 2018. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. So now I have covered my 12th fight for the first round of the World Boxing Super Series Season 2. We've covered all the fights in the bantamweight tournament. We covered all the fights in the 140-pound super lightweight tournament. We've covered all the fights now in the Cruiserweight tournament. This is Krzysztof Glowacki, former WBO Cruiserweight champion, versus Maxim Vlasov, who fought Gevor Ramirez back in 2015, if I'm correct, down at 168 pounds. Now he's fighting at Cruiserweight. He's 6'3". One thing you'll notice is that when he fights, he lunges and he doesn't use his height as much. However, he was catching Glowacki with some good shit. It was a very, very good fight. And in my opinion, it should be... Hold on, let's listen to the cards.
Roussel has it 118-110. Robert Heckel 117-110. And Mike Fitzgerald 115-112 for your winner by unanimous decision. And now the interim WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, and moving on to the semifinals of the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight Tournament. Krzysztof Glowacki.
And Krzysztof Glowacki doing enough tonight in the eyes of almost everyone in this arena, and a very satisfied group of fans.
That's the WBO interim.
Krzysztof Glowacki on a very hard-earned victory tonight. Again, if you look at the scorecards, it sounds like it was an easy fight for Krzysztof Glowacki, but
it was not an easy fight. He's with Ray Flores right now. They're going to do the interview. We're going to listen in, and then we're going to talk about what all this means, and the fact that now the WBC Diamond and WBO are in the... Hold on, let's listen in.
Cruiserweight champion of the world, Krzysztof Glowacki. Krzysztof, first of all, tell us about how satisfying this victory is. A lot of fans came out here to support you. A lot of Polish fans here in Chicago to be able to get the victory tonight. How sweet is this?
Dziękuję.
Thank you.
Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim kibicom za wspaniały doping. Jesteście niesamowici. Kocham was. Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much. You guys are incredible. Thank you.
What are your thoughts about fighting Mairis Briedis in the semifinals of the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight Tournament as you look ahead towards your next matchup in the early part of 2019?
Mairis Briedis jest wspaniałym zawodnikiem. Na pewno będzie jeszcze cięższa walka niż dzisiaj była. Także czeka nas wspaniałe widowisko sportowe.
Mairis is a great fighter, so I'm expecting the fight will be even more interesting than tonight.
Were you surprised that Vlasov was able to withstand your power? You hit him with some clean left hands and rocked his head back, but he still kept coming forward and remained upright.
Tak, dokładnie to, co powiedziałeś. Maksim bardzo twardy zawodnik, stawał bardzo waleczny. Jak to na Rosjan przystało, to są naprawdę twardzi ludzie.
Exactly like you said, he was a really tough fighter and he kept getting up, but we persevered.
Well, now we have Mairis Briedis, who you are going to encounter. Can you give us your early, and if you have a prediction for your matchup against that man, Mairis Briedis, in the semifinals of the Cruiserweight tournament?
Bring him in the ring.
Ciężko powiedzieć, na razie jestem zmęczony po walce, także zobaczycie już niedługo.
I think Glowacki wins.
I'm now tired after the fight, but you'll see it soon enough.
Well, now let's join alongside by Mairis Briedis just to ask you, what do you think about the performance that you saw out of Glowacki? Were you able to watch it, and what are your impressions of him?
Great fight, and congratulations to Glowacki. He win this fight, and yes, next fight is I don't know when and where, but we're preparing for great fight.
We look forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our semifinal matchup. It is Krzysztof Glowacki, Mairis Briedis. It is Latvia against Poland. It's the World Boxing Super Series next in the early part of 2019. What a showdown this is going to be in the Cruiserweight division.
I'm happy too.
Glowacki and Briedis. Back to BJ.
And a very good performance.
Okay, so let's go talk about the World Boxing Super Series. Let's go talk about the division. So here it is. You're going to have Mairis Briedis taking on Krzysztof Glowacki for the WBO Interim and the WBC Diamond, the only two belts that are in the World Boxing Super Series tournament. The WBA can't be in it because they're maxed out. They have a WBA champion in recess, and Denis Lebedev, who's going to be fighting soon. We're going to be covering that. That's going to be on the zone, by the way. They have a interim champion. I keep forgetting how to pronounce that guy's name. This guy right here. And then they have Babet Shumanov, the world champion, and then Alexander Usyk, the super world champion. So they can't have a belt in it. The IBF, they don't do interim titles, you know, unless it's really, really necessary. So it's Glowacki's WBO interim, which when Usyk moves up, it's inevitable. He's going to move up. He'll be elevated to full champion, or whoever has this belt will be elevated to champion, full champion. And then Briedis' Diamond Championship, which guarantees you mandatory for whoever they order to be. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's kind of weird right here. We're going to talk about what can possibly happen with the WBC situation in a later video, right? But here's the World Boxing Super Series tournament. Now you're going to have Briedis versus Glowacki. And then you're going to have Junior Dorticos versus Andrew Tabiti. In my opinion, Andrew Tabiti is still the dark horse sleeper because his fight with Ruslan Favour, in fact, they're talking about it right here.
Real relic, John.
Let's go back.
A unanimous decision victory over Maxim Vlasov.
I hope they shouldn't copyright me for this. Not for this.
For all three semifinals, here it is.
So how it works, you know, as long as you're doing like promotion for it, you know, like they won't hit you with copyright, but they shouldn't. I'll let you see it. I'll take the risk.
Briedis and Glowacki, Dorticos and Tabiti. That is the Cruiserweight tournament for the World Boxing Super Series. What a year it has been for the WBSS. Here we see the super lightweight semifinals. Oh, this is appetizing. Regis Prograis, Kirill Relic, Josh Taylor, Ivan Baradchik. Oh my goodness. And let's take a look at the bantamweights as we will go ahead and take a look at what we have in store. No need.
These are all the next round. Damn, I didn't even know this was right here. Oh, I forgot we were full screen last time. I'm tripping.
Donaire still doing his thing in his mid-30s, taking on Zolanate Tete. And then the monster Naoya Inoue, who's a superstar in Japan, takes on the pride of Puerto Rico, Emmanuel Rodriguez. That are our three semifinals.
But that's not the one we want to talk about. We want to talk about this one. Let's go back. So, Dorticos, you know, he is the biggest puncher right now in the Cruiserweight tourney. He is the biggest puncher right now. Tabiti, we really didn't get to see who he was against Ruslan Favour. Also, I'm kind of upset that Mayweather's not you know, like really supporting TstreeT, and, you know, with his own shit going on, he wasn't at the fight. This one he should be at. So this fight and this one, Briedis and Glowacki and Dorticos TstreeT are going to take place no later than February. Will they put them on the same card? I doubt it. So when it comes to Briedis, the way he's looked in his last couple of fights, I've covered him his last couple of fights. Few fights, several fights, in fact. Let me show you which ones I've covered. Let me tell you which ones I've covered. Obviously, tonight, I covered this on the undercard when he won, when Usyk won the World Boxing Super Series. Obviously, covered the Usyk fight, covered the Perez fight, covered the Marco Huck fight. I didn't cover this one, but I did cover this here on YouTube. So I'm pretty well acclimated, and that's not saying I haven't watched all of the available fights. I've seen these fights in preparation for his entrance into the World Boxing Super Series tournament. So what I'm saying is, you know, I'm seeing some slowdown, and maybe, you know, people are right. What they're saying is that he, you know, overlooked his opponent tonight. But from what I've seen, even though he'll be the more clean or effective puncher than Glowacki can beat him or probably, you know, break his will. Depending. In regard to Vlasov, he's got to work on, you know, he's still young. In regards to 32, he hasn't been knocked out before, and he hasn't really taken a lot of damage. You know, I don't know, you know, like he's got to fight taller, I guess. You know, he was doing some good work in there. You know? Here is how the division ranks right now, as you can see. Tony Bellew got knocked out today. It was sad as shit. And the main players of the cruiserweights are in the tournament or left, you know, in regards to TstreeT, you know, Glowacki. Murat Gassiev, he's still, you know, dealing with, well, healing up from the injury. He'll be back soon. Tony Bellew had beat him. Masternak lost. You know, I'm going to do some research on this person, whoever this is. I'm going to do some research on them. I've heard of this I've heard of them, I think. Hungarian? Where, though? Was it this one? Nah, we'll see. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, so there we are. You know, the second round is set. Let me tell you the fights I'm really looking forward to. Well, both of the bantamweights, Donaire versus Tite and Noel versus Rodriguez. I got Donaire. You know what? Something tells me that Donaire may be able to get through. Even though the first, you know, with Burnett, you know, it ended, you know, with Burnett tearing a muscle. It was confirmed. And Noel, Emmanuel Rodriguez takes too many shots to the body. And Noel is a crazy body puncher. So I got him advancing. Cruiserweights, I got Glowacki advancing to the finals. Andrew TstreeT, Dorticos, I'm still 50-50. But my heart want to say TstreeT. But TstreeT's going to be, his chin is going to truly be tested. 140 pounds, Regis Prograis. And Josh Taylor, Berinchyk, that's a bit of a, you know, Josh Taylor does have the edge because he's the better overall boxer, and he's huge, and he can slug too, but he don't want to take his chance and slug with Berinchyk. But also Berinchyk gets caught with some shots that he shouldn't get caught with. But he is a beast. With that said, on TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. I got to cover a couple more fights, then go into next week with, you know, top rank card, another card on the DAZN, top rank card, Hooker versus Aceto, and then on Saturday, the DAZN. So another busy week. Please subscribe. I'll links to my social media right down below in the description box. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live.